Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. We got Gone and Forgotten, the best player now in the NBA. What happened to Kemba Walker? Shout out to Stunted Growth.
I just continue to work. Time goes on, and I'm back. First game against my old team. The rest is history from there. So it's like everything happened for a reason.
Should be in the league right now, bro. How they sleeping on Kemba? Dude was an all-star starter 1 year. Him and Isaiah Thomas should be in the league right now. They shouldn't be like the star player. They should come off the bench and give you a good 10 points off the bench. Come on.
My old team. The rest is history from there. So it's like
what team is he on now? You got traded to the Pistons. They traded him to the Celtics, then the Pistons. Now he off the team. They waived him from the Pistons because he don't have no business being on the Pistons. He gotta be on the contender, baby.
Kemba Hudley Walker, born May 8th, 1990. Young Kemba Walker was a problem.
Yep.
When it comes to point guard, young Kemba Walker
made me so mad. I was rooting for the Bulls.
When it comes to point guards that handle
my favorite
the ball
point guards, bro.
many
He was
bring
my
up
favorite point
Kyrie
guards.
Irving, but to me, Kemba was not far behind and a lot more efficient with his moves, making them not as flashy as, let's say, Kyrie Irving. But when it comes to point guards and the beauty they brought to ball handling, Kemba...
He had fall down on the move. He fell down on the shot. His jump shot made him fall down.
When it comes to point guards and the beauty they brought to ball handling...
He go up for a shot. That's when he fall. Yo, Brandon, remember Brandon Knight? Missed the wide open layup for the win.
Kemba is top 5 in my opinion, along with Irving, Darren Williams, Baron Davis, and Allen Iverson. When speaking of New York, he might just have the crown. More than handles, prime Kemba was a deadly shooter, usually in the high 30s from 3, with a career high of 39.9 in 2016-17, the year he became an all-star for the first time. He was always in the tops in points in the paint, and his mid-range game was just as polished.
And he developed a 3-ball. I know he didn't have that when he first came into the league. He was number 1. See, all you OG, all you dudes born in 2010s and 2020. I know Kemba Walker was number 1 before he was number 15.
3-level scorer, but what I liked most was he was a dog for sure.
Okay.
Killer instinct, attribute bar,
Look at that
all
cross,
the way
bro.
up.
Look at that cross. Come on.
He wanted the challenge, and if he got the best of you, he let you know about it after. I always appreciated him as Michael Jordan's first star player under his tutelage because he reminded me of Michael, just a 5-foot whatever version. Like, if Kemba was 6'6", he would be the best.
5'11" Michael Jordan?
Best player in the league. He was a 4-time All-Star, All-NBA performer, and a winner in college in one of the all-time classic ways. The way he went out is not only a college basketball player's, but a New York point guard's dream. Not only
I didn't see that step back. I know he stepped. I heard he had a game winner, but not like this. Sheesh.
But a New York point guard.
Was that Luis Scola?
Dream. This was a guy that wasn't rated the best point guard leaving high school.
Luis Scola.
Selected 9th
like I said, I don't know nothing about Luis Scola.
Point guard off the board, and took 5 years to finally become a star.
Was Jimmer drafted before him? No, Jimmer was drafted before him, right?
He was.
No, right after.
He was one of the most exciting players in the league. That was prime Kemba. Then everything changed almost.
The third point guard taken, so it was Kyrie, then. It was Jimmer. They probably picked Jimmer over Kemba.
He went from a career high.
Shout out to Jimmer though. He killing it over in China, averaging 82 points a game.
In games played, playing all 82 games in 2018-19, an all-star year and career high in points per game. To struggling physically in 29.
Mirotic, bro. Remember Mirotic?
High in points per game.
He fought for all his face. He got crossed up, hezzy.
To struggling physically in 2019-20 on a team with a lot of expectations and a lot of fans counting him out because they don't understand that you're injured, and while you make it look fine in demeanor on the court,
he got carted off. I don't remember that.
Performing certain moves and at certain speeds like you used to and injuring yourself further. Whatever the case, since 2019-20, Kemba Walker hasn't grown throughout his prime like many thought he would. This is a guy that usually played, if not all the games, a high number of games every season.
And he can dunk too. And he can dunk. I knew it.
3 years being available, becoming his Achilles heel. Seeing him grow from a poor to mediocre freshman in college, average first few years in the league to an all-NBA team was motivating to witness, and at just 29, I didn't expect his decline so soon, and at 31 be out the league, last waived by the Detroit Pistons.
Oh, you got waived by the Pistons.
What happened to Kemba Walker?
Well, I'm not mad at that. The Pistons should waive him anyway. What you doing having Kemba Walker on your team? He's a young team.
It's your boy JC Stunted Growth. Let's get it, man. Take a minute to like, subscribe, and comment on who I should do next.
Stunted Growth, you sponsored by Wix?
Walker is listed as a 6-foot point guard from the Bronx, New York that was sort of a late to underrated bloomer, I would say. He once defeated Derrick Rose in high school and got the best of him on ESPN, winning 53-51 in Madison Square Garden. Before that, he didn't even start for Rice High School until his junior year.
And he's from New York too. Yeah, you had to show out in front of your home fans.
Up Edgar Sosa his first two. His high school teams were usually underrated, but by his senior year, they went on a tear, rated the #1 team in the country by the end of the season, and going 6-0 in the 2007 Arizona Cactus Classic, which was a tournament that featured 32 of the best high school programs. It also happened to be where Brandon Jennings was also going to be at, and he not only held the #1 rated player spot, but was also UConn's prize recruit at point guard ahead of Kemba Walker. And if not for him committing to Arizona, Kemba would have never been a Husky.
Well, Brandon Jennings ain't go to college.
And create the history
he went overseas like LaMelo.
Being called the greatest UConn player ever by the guy who coached them all. Kemba and his team flew through the tournament, and in the championship game against DeMar DeRozan and of course Brandon Jennings, he saw the challenge and seized his opportunity. Jennings had everything Kemba wanted, and in that game, he took his.
He ripped him.
He won the game, scoring 24 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists to Brandon's 24 points, but shooting 10 for 24 and 1 for 9 from 3.
I remember watching Charlotte Hornets game, turn on League Pass just to watch Kemba, bro. Not the Hornet, but just Kemba. He was crossing up someone, hitting crazy shots, hitting crazy buzzer beaters, and he was clutch.
After, it was Jennings' mom who informed
OJ Mayo. That OJ Mayo.
UConn Brandon committed to Arizona, and immediately the coaching staff drove to New York to grab the hottest commodity, Kemba Walker, and the rest was history. Stunt #1, his timing of development. The Hornets. Oh, what fun point guards they've had in the last 20 years. And not to play conspiracy theorists, but there's something about them all having their careers suddenly take a drastic change in direction and it not working out for them in the end. Will LaMelo Ball end up the same way? When Kemba was drafted by the Charlotte Bobcats, he didn't instantly wow the league, averaging a modest 12 points a game in his rookie season, and in the next 3 years, hovering at around 17 points a game and sort of content with how he was growing. The Hornets would bring in a shooting coach in 2015-16, Bruce Kreutzer.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there.
Kemba and even changed his jump shot, to which at first Kemba hated. But that season, he took a huge step forward from 30% from 3 the year before to 37%, doing things different, and from there, he says his life changed. He entered an early prime of teams not being able to guard him anywhere on the floor for the next 3 years. Teams not being able to guard him anywhere on the floor for the next 3 years. The best 3 years of his career, where he was on superstar level, but his teams were never good and missed the playoffs every season.
Yeah, his teams were never good. I just wish he would have got a chance to sign on a good team like Isaiah Thomas.
Charlotte, being an expansion team with all the uprooting history they've had, was also developing slowly and didn't have the players around Kemba that he could strive, but also Kemba came in at 21 years old, finally found his shot at 25, and became an all-star at 26, so all the blame can't go on Charlotte like many say, followed by the question of why he never requested a trade. AKA, he stayed too long in Charlotte.
He left in free agency, right?
And they wasted his prime.
And he just...
But Kemba was
He
just
left in free
getting
agency.
comfortable as the player he was for himself and for the team. Also, the difficulty of bringing free agents to Charlotte, like it's probably going to be for LaMelo as well. His development timing versus him being on a young, slow-building team like Charlotte stunted his growth initially. Stunt number 2, his knee failed him in his prime.
Against when he was with the Celtics. Stunning, you talking about Paxson?
Important of reasons Kemba Walker's growth was stunted was because a left knee that failed him. Reasons Kemba Walker's growth was stunted was because...
Remember this man right here? Michael Carter Williams, Rookie of the Year. Bust. I thought he was going to be nice, man. Dude won Player of the Week his first week in the NBA. He had like a triple-double in his first game. He had about like 30 points, 10 assists, and 10 steals.
It's a left
Bro,
knee that
come
failed
on.
him
I thought he was going to be
early and only got
nice.
worse. As mentioned, Kemba was an Iron Man in the league, usually playing a full or close to season. His left knee first became a problem back in early 2015, where he tore his meniscus and was ruled out 6 weeks after surgery, which I think is really fast to return from a surgery and maybe the reason his problems never went away.
He have the Hornets. He had to rush it. He had to come back or to carry the team every season.
From becoming an all-star 2 seasons later and 4 straight, but each year since, he would either have surgery on the knee or procedures done to it that all took a toll on his game over time. What made Walker great was his change of direction and shiftiness, change of speed, ability to get low to the ground and stop on dimes. Those knee surgeries and procedures took a lot of that away physically, and I'm sure hurt his confidence mentally in his knee holding up on some of his moves. After Charlotte,
that spin move. I remember that spin move, bro. He couldn't guard that spin move.
Holding up on some
he always had that spin move on him.
After Charlotte didn't offer him a max deal, which really hurt and shocked Walker because he
crossover, pullbacks, and the spin move. That was his go-to. 3 go-to moves.
He loves Charlotte. He took one with the Celtics 2019-20 and made the All-Star team again. Even though the knee was troubling him and hindered his performance.
He made the All-Star team. I think he was a starter, if I'm not mistaken, too. 2020.
Having his worst production year since 15-16. In 2021, he wasn't available for the series against Brooklyn, whom they lost to 4-1 because of a bone bruise in the left knee. They traded him to OKC in the offseason, who bought him out, and he then signed with the Knicks, but they too traded him after just 37 games.
What are you doing? You could have used him to come off the bench.
Detroit, who eventually...
They're having him and Derrick Rose off the bench. That's already like the best bench in the NBA.
He waved it.
What are Knicks doing? Thibodeau don't know the offense when it hits him in the face. If offense hit him in the face, still want to recognize it. All Thibodeau knows is defense.
October 2022. All this because his left knee failed his prime. Stunt number 3, losing position. Being traded, waived, and bought out.
It's all because he's 6'1", bro. Come on.
Multiple times.
He's 6'1".
Does a lot to a person.
Same way I was at Thomas. He's 5'9". That's why they out the league.
Period. 1, in the positions Walker was in, where he was the face of one franchise, key piece in another, underdog trying to reprove himself in NY, and having bottom-feeding teams basically not want you around, I think took the aura away from Kemba Walker. Only he knows if it took some confidence as well, which makes sense after the injuries he's had. But now he's not viewed as the same player he was, who still should be in his prime at 31, 32 years old. Point guards come in younger and much better than when Walker did, so there's really no time to waste on an injury-prone player nowadays, which Kemba has become due to his left knee. He lost position in the league, and now fans and teams themselves...
He averaged 20 a game. 20 a game. Let's see, 20 a game. 4 rebounds, 5 assists. 24-5.
He lost position in the league, and now fans and teams themselves have lost confidence. The position he's in now, it'll be hard to get that back, especially with his knee injury history. Will a team sign him again? Probably, but will he ever be Kemba again? Unfortunately, no.
Let's get a new
All
role.
in all, Kemba is still a great player to me.
Exactly. Yeah, he
I loved
is.
watching him compete as he's cut from that old school cloth of competitiveness, and he was always so much fun to watch in clutch situations or ones his team has been counted out of all the way back to high school. Had it not been for these reasons, Kemba Walker was headed to a Hall of Fame career.
You on the Hornets,
Salute,
buddy.
much respect, but for these reasons, his growth was stunted. It's your boy JC, Stunted Growth, and I'm out.
Hey, shout out to Stunted Growth, man. W video. Thanks for watching.